Cubs with a 6-4 win over the Oakland A's. Sean Marshall, one of a handful of pitchers vying for that fifth spot in the Cubs starting rotation, went 3 strong innings, no base runners. Alfonso Soriano hit his first spring training homer of 2009, and the Cubs were a 6-4 winner yesterday. As for today's game, let's get a first look at today's game, sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois and Marathon. And Pat and Ron standing by down in Goodyear, Arizona. Hi, guys.
How you doing? Can you hear?
Yeah, Ron. How you doing today?
Well, who am I talking to?
This is Jim Memolo.
Oh, Jim. Very good. Thank you. Got a little bit of a cold, but other than that, I'm doing fine.
Good to talk to you again, Ron. It's been a while.
Yeah, it sure has, Jim. Nice talking to you.
So the Cubbies come off that game yesterday against the Oakland A's, and Sean Marshall throws out a pretty strong performance for them yesterday.
Well, you know, he is a guy that, as you realized last year when they brought him up for the bullpen and also for starting, and he'll do whatever you want him to do. He's got good stuff. He's got a very good sinker, and he's got a good slider, breaking ball, changeup. Once in a while, he gets a little bit not wild, but his command is not there. But that happens to a lot of guys. But he's a battler, and he's a competitor.
Today we got Shag O'Dan going for the Cubbies against the Cleveland Indians, and he's also in that position. I don't know if he's in the running for that fifth starter spot, but certainly the Cubs would like to get a look at him and see how he's doing early in the spring.
Well, he's another guy like Marshall that could use as a starter or in the bullpen. And I myself, as much pitching as there is, and strong young arms down here, I see him mainly in the bullpen.
Yeah, and he certainly adds depth to that bullpen, certainly in middle relief. A couple of things we look for in this game today, Ronnie. One of them is Milton Bradley coming back from that sore quad. He's going to be the designated hitter today.
Yes, he is. And, I'll tell you something, Jim. He's a hard worker. This is a guy that's out there. It's all business. And a real nice, guy. I mean, he really is. And he's in his own when it comes to taking batting practice and outfield. He's right there. He's locked in, but he's really going to be the key for this ball club, I feel, this year. Lou, that's all he talked about last year, Jim, was the fact that he didn't have enough left-handed hitting. And Jim Hendry did a great job and bring in a lot of left-handed hitters.
Well, Ron, his health is going to be a factor for this team because when he's healthy, he is a very productive player. The problem is keeping him healthy. He's averaged about 90 games a year the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I noticed when he did come over here and he wanted to be here, and he finally got security in his baseball career. And that's what he's been waiting for. And I know he's had a lot of injuries, and the knee has been the biggest problem. And now this quad, they're just being overly protective right now. And hopefully they can keep him healthy. I know that he wants to play as much as he can.
The other interesting aspect of this game today, Ron, with the Cubs taking on the Indians, is a little bit of a reunion. You got Kerry Wood and Mark DeRosa on the other side of the field.
Well, I tell you, those are two guys that I think everybody misses. You look at the fact that what Kerry Wood, the adversity he's been through, and to do what he has done in the last couple of years is amazing. And he's so great in the clubhouse, and of course the Cub fans love him. And Mark DeRosa, to me, he was our most valuable player. I mean, this is a guy very versatile, play any position you want him to play. Drove in 87 runs, hit a career high 20 home runs. It was tough. And, that's baseball, Jim. You become a free agent and you're at a certain age. I just feel like, hey, they had to make the deal to make other deals. You know what I'm saying?
I saw where Ryan Dempster said it was a little strange not having Woody around the club. I mean, after all, after you and Pat, Kerry Wood's got the most longevity with this club, spring training after spring training.
Oh, absolutely. Kerry, I'll never forget when he came up, and we were talking about him in the clubhouse the other day, saying if this if Kerry Wood could have stayed healthy, oh, it'd be unbelievable. I mean, I'll never forget that 20-game strikeout. And when I say that, because I played Major League Baseball, Jim, and when you see that there was no chance for anybody to hit the ball, he was unhittable that particular day. And unfortunately, he's always had good velocity. But I thought when he had the shoulder problem, I didn't think he'd come back. And yet, without an operation, worked his fanny off, lost a lot of weight, and came back throwing 97 miles an hour.
Ron, I've had this argument with people before. I will include all no-hitters in perfect games up to this point in Major League Baseball. That Kerry Wood 20 strikeout, one hitter, to me, is still the most dominant game I've ever seen a pitcher throw.
Oh, and for me, who, have faced a lot of, we had great pitchers in my era, but I never felt, sure, there's certain days that Sandy Koufax was like that, and you got to give him credit, but I've never seen a game like that in my life. He was literally throwing 98 miles an hour, and he had what you call a slurve, big breaking ball, and nobody had a chance. Nobody.
They only put the ball in play 8 times, and the one hit was a dribbler.
And the one hit was off the third baseman. I'm trying to think of his name. Kevin Ory. And my Patrick here. He's the best. I look to him for all those kind of things.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, no Kerry Wood on the Cubs side of the field today, and no Kerry Wood in this game. He's still working his way back from back spasms, and apparently he's just going to be working out of the bullpen today, or in the bullpen.
Yeah, right.
So, all right, Ron, well, you got a chance to talk to Lou Piniella earlier today, and you'll come back with us and tell us what Lou had to say a little bit later on, okay?
All right, very good.
Ron Santo, Pat Hughes down in Goodyear, Arizona, getting ready for the Cubs and Indians coming up in just a little while. We'll have a look at the scoreboard a little bit later on Cubs Central pregame, and Ron Santo also got a chance to sit down with Ryne Sandberg earlier today, and you'll hear that conversation a little bit later on. But coming up, Ron talked to Lou Piniella. Ron will tell us about that conversation on the WGN Chicago Cubs radio network.
www.yourimplantSolutions.com or call 800-250-3500 for a free consultation. Now with several locations to serve you, the Gold Coast, Hoffman Estates, Downers Grove, and Homewood Flossmoor, call Your Implant Solutions at 800-250-3500. The call will take a moment. The results will last a lifetime.
Cubs Central Lou Piniella Show on News Talk 720 WGN is sponsored by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Welcome back to Cubs Central pregame. Jim Memolo with you this afternoon. We're getting you ready for the Cubs and the Indians from Goodyear, Arizona. The Cubs splitting the squad today. Half the team staying back in Arizona. We'll give you the starting lineup in a little while. The other half of the squad is heading up to Vegas, or is in Vegas right now, getting ready for a night game against the White Sox later on today, and then they'll play again tomorrow afternoon. Rejoining us now from Arizona is Ron Santo, who did not get a chance to talk to Lou Piniella because Lou's in Vegas, right, Ron?
Well, I thought that I didn't say anything because I have talked to Lou. I was at the ball game on Monday. We had a long talk about the ball club, so I figured, well, I'll just give you that information and go from there. I had Bob Dickerson, the AAA manager for the Chicago Cubs, and Rhino is the bench coach, so I did Dickerson, and it wasn't my fault this time. That was the cord, and something went wrong. So.
No problem, Ron. First of all, last you talked to Lou, first of all, he had to be giddy. He's going up to Vegas for a couple of days. Well, that's a nice road trip.
You know, that is a nice road trip, but he wasn't too happy about going, to be honest with you. And I think with this economy, I don't think anybody's thinking about going to Vegas and spending any money at all.
Wrong place to be this year in particular, right?
Exactly.
I mean, how has Lou felt about this team? So, I mean, they're off to a 5-2 start in the Cactus League. Not that means a whole lot at this point.
Well, you know, to Lou, it doesn't. And if you play 500 in spring training, especially this year, when you look at the fact that there's so many minor league ball players and 32 pitchers, and they're resting guys. You know, they're giving more days off because of 39 games, and we were a week early, and we're going to be a week late in starting the season. So that doesn't. He's not concerned about that. And this ball club's pretty set, except for that fifth starter. And what he was talking about, that he feels he wants to find two guys that for that seventh and eighth inning. Not that if Marmol is the setup man or Greg the setup man, we'll just have to find out about that. But he says you still need those two guys because you can't pitch the same guys every day. So he loves this ball club. He knows one thing. He said if we stay healthy, we should be there. There's no doubt about it.
Well, and at this point in the spring, well, throughout the spring, I think most managers basically are concerned about the health of their team, especially their starting pitching. And to that end, later on this week, Lou's going to get to see Rich Harden in a simulated game.
Yes, he is. Yeah, they're being very careful with Rich Harden, and I tell you, to me, that fifth starter, there's quite a few arms there and I mean good arms. And one thing about Lou, Jim, is he likes velocity. There's no doubt about it. Except for a guy like Marshall, who has, he could throw it in 90, but he's more of a finesse type guy, like a lot of left-handers. But and he gets the job done. Don't get me wrong, but he really does like for that bullpen to have some real good arms.
Ron, the Cubs have Jeff Samardzija and Aaron Heilman going in those two games up in Vegas against the Sox, and obviously Samardzija and Heilman, along with Marshall, are three of the names in the mix for that fifth starting rotation. Marshall comes out yesterday and throws three strong. You get the feeling that maybe Samardzija's maybe headed back to middle relief.
Well, you know what? If he does not start, they might, because I think in the long run, and I don't know what they're going to do, but there's two ways they can go. I mean, if he has a good spring, and he's got the arm, he's got the stuff, there's no doubt about it. And if they don't, they might put him in the bullpen, or they might bring him down to AAA to start. And that might happen. I don't know for sure, but that's a possibility.
Ron, great to get a chance to talk to you. I guess I'll get another chance on Friday to do it. I'll let you get ready for the ball game, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
Ron Santo down in Goodyear, Arizona, getting ready for the Cubs and Indians, and Ronnie got a chance to sit down with Ryne Sandberg. You'll hear that conversation coming up next on Cubs Central pregame on the WGN Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Cubs Central pregame on News Talk 720 WGN is sponsored by National City Bank.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Ron Santo here in Arizona for a game against the Cleveland Indians. My guest on the pregame show is the Hall of Famer, All-Star second baseman, Ryne Sandberg. And Ryan, let's talk about your career after baseball. You decided you wanted to get back in the game, and you've been managing Double-A, for 2 or 3 years?
Yes, Ron. The last 2 summers I spent in Peoria and was there in the Midwest League and helped out the organization by being down there and taking some kids. Some were just out of high school, some just out of college, and teaching them how to be pros. And so what's kind of nice is this year I'll be a Double-A, and the better guys that I had in 07 now I'll have at the Double-A level. So. Yeah, I enjoy still being in a Cubs uniform. I think one of the smartest things I did after I retired was I stayed with the organization active as a spring training instructor, which I did for 8 years, and I think that was great because I was able to have an opportunity like this come along my way, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I've learned a lot in the last 2 years, and I just want to continue learning something.
It's kind of interesting, Rhino, and you did the right thing. A guy like you with your ability and being in the big leagues as long and a Hall of Famer, you probably could have gone a lot higher or got a coaching job in the big leagues, but you wanted to go to the minor leagues, and you wanted to do it your way, and now you've moved up to Double-A ball, and I know you're planning someday maybe to be a major league manager.
Well, Ron, I think that's the way it should be done. I believe in doing baseball the right way. For a baseball player or Hall of Famer, I don't think there should be anything special there as far as getting some jobs. I think and I've noticed that there's a lot to be learned at the minor league level. And there's no place better than to do it there because you can create your own style, you can learn, you can make some mistakes, and also you can get a flavor of what it is like at the minor leagues. And so if one day I would have the opportunity to do this at the major league level, I think these years in the minor leagues are good because I'd have a good feel for that.
Well, there's no doubt you're going to be a big league manager, that's for sure. What I'm wondering, and of course Margaret used to love it, and to me, that's the best thing that ever happened to you.
Oh, no doubt about it. Margaret's great, and we have a nice bunch of kids, 5 total. And through those 8 years that I was a spring training instructor, that allowed me to be at home and kind of be with them through the junior high school years, and even college years. So, once all that passed, and in 07, when I was offered the managerial job in Peoria, our youngest was a senior in college, so it just worked out perfectly timing-wise, and so Margaret and myself are enjoying this together. She has a ball with this, and is real good with people, and so we're doing this together, and having a blast at it.
Ron Santo sitting down with Ryne Sandberg down in Arizona earlier today for a little conversation. Coming up on Cubs Central pregame, we'll give you the starting lineup for this afternoon's game, update you on the spring training scores in the Grapefruit League with a lot of the action yet to begin in the Cactus League, and catch up on all the sports news. That's coming up next on the WGN Chicago Cubs Radio Network. Cubs Central Sports Wire on News Talk 720 WGN is sponsored by us. Spring training. We're getting the all the little nicks out of the body here. Jim Memolo back with you on Cubs Central pregame, getting you ready for the Cubs and Indians from Goodyear, Arizona. The Cubs 5-2 in the Cactus League thus far, on the Indians 2-4. A split squad game for the Cubbies. Chad Godin getting the start this afternoon. The other half of the Cubs up in Vegas, getting ready for a 2-game series against the White Sox. The first game to be played under the lights tonight in Vegas. Mentioned Jeff Samardzija will get the start in that one, and an Aaron Heilman for the Cubbies tomorrow. The other half of the White Sox will be playing Oakland a little bit later on this afternoon. In the meantime, here's the lineup for the Cubbies today. Joey Gathright will lead off and play center field. Aaron Miles at shortstop. Derek Lee's in the lineup, batting third. Milton Bradley, the DH, fourth. Jason DuBois, Brad Snyder, Bobby Scales, and Nate Spears are the balance of the Cubs lineup, and Pat will give you the full lineup coming up a little bit later on, right before the game starts. Meantime, a couple of other scores to report in spring training baseball. Pittsburgh leading Minnesota 2-1 in the sixth inning in the Grapefruit League. Atlanta's got a 3-2 lead over the Yankees. That game is now in the seventh inning. Washington leads the Mets 6-4. Livan Hernandez pitching in that game. And home runs in that game for Castro is second for the Mets. Tatis, his first of the spring for the New Yorkers. Nick Johnson has hit his second home run of the spring for the Washington Nationals. The Phillies are playing the Canadian World Baseball Classic team and leading 6-2 in the sixth inning. Baltimore's got a 5-0 lead over the Dominican Republic team for the World Baseball Classic. Ty Wigginton is homered for Baltimore in that game. And Italy leads Florida 4-1 in the sixth inning down in Florida. Panama's got a 6-3 lead over Detroit. Just some of the spring training scores going on the World Baseball Classic teams gearing up for the Classic with some exhibition games against the major league clubs this afternoon. Other baseball news, Manny Ramirez reportedly has agreed to a 2-year, $45 million deal with the Dodgers, so that drama is over with. Alex Rodriguez is going to see a doctor about a hip problem, reportedly may have a cyst. The Yankees may ask A-Rod to back out of playing for the Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic. Assistant GM Mike Rizzo assumes day-to-day control of the Washington Nationals after Jim Bowden's resignation. In football, reportedly the Arizona Cardinals have given a 2-year contract to Kurt Warner. He gets $23 million, 19 of which apparently are guaranteed. NHL trade deadline this afternoon. Basketball, the Bulls taking on Golden State tonight. College basketball, you got number 2 North Carolina at Virginia Tech, number 3 Pitt hosting Marquette, Northwestern and DePaul playing today as well. NCAA may investigate the Arizona basketball program for possible recruiting violations. And that's a quick look at the sports news, getting you ready for spring training baseball. The Cubs and Indians coming up next with Pat and Ron down at Goodyear, Arizona. That's all ahead on the WGN Chicago Cubs radio network.
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air from Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona. It's the Chicago Cubs against the Cleveland Indians. Good afternoon, everybody. Along with Cubs legend Ron Santo, it's Pat Hughes reporting. It's a nice, warm, beautiful day in the Phoenix area. Cactus League baseball coming your way. The Cubs and the Indians. The starting pitchers, right-handers. Chad Godin starts for the Cubs. Carl Pavano starts for the Indians. Back to take a look at the lineups and get this one underway after this on the WGN Cubs Radio Network.
Soon you'll be hanging up that winner.
Out, so test it. A little higher, please. That's good. That's good. That's good. Let's go right there. That's good. Thank you. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's game. The lineups, as always, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Experience wellness everywhere. Leading off for the visiting Cubs today and playing in center field is Joey Gathright. Aaron Miles at short. Derek Lee at first base. The cleanup hitter for the Cubs, Milton Bradley. Bradley will perform as the designated hitter. Jason DuBois in left field. Brad Snyder in right field. The Cub third baseman is Bobby Scales. Scales to bat seventh. Nate Spears at second base. And Mark Johnson is catching and batting ninth. For the Indians, Josh Barfield leads off at second base. Asdrubal Cabrera at short. The center fielder for the Tribe is Ben Francisco. The catcher batting cleanup, Victor Martinez. Bo Mills is the DH for the Indians. Mills hitting fifth. Tony Graffanino batting sixth. Graffanino today will play first base. Matt Laporta in right. Wes Hodges plays third for Cleveland. Hodges hitting eighth and playing third. And batting ninth, left fielder Michael Brantley. So there you have the lineups. The umpires today, Will Robinson calling balls and strikes. Mike Everett to work at first base. Doug Eddings at second. And Jeff Macias over at third. The Indians have taken the field. This is a brand new complex in Goodyear, Arizona, which is about 30 miles west of downtown Phoenix. It is somewhat, at this point, out in, as you said, Ron, out in the middle of nowhere, but it is a very lovely complex.
It really is, Pat, and they just finished this ballpark, and the one in Glendale, where the Dodgers and Sox are. I think it's Glendale, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And
it is now.
they just finished this about a week ago. completely, and it's a beautiful ballpark. But it is out in no man's land.
Joey Gathright leads it off for the Cubs. Both teams wearing blue shirts. Pavano's first pitch to Gathright bounced a third base hit past a drawn-in Hodges into left, and Gathright has the leadoff single on the game's first pitch.
Gathright is the type of hitter, Pat, as we were talking about. All he has to do is slap that ball on the left side. He can beat it out if it's, and that's what he did there. Tried to get it by the third baseman, and he did.
Carl Pavano pitched for the Yankees. Mainly watched for the Yankees the last 4 years. He was injured so very frequently. In 4 years after signing a very lucrative free agent contract with the Yanks, Ron, a grand total of 26 starts by Pavano over 4 years.
Yeah, right.
He had Tommy John surgery. Aaron Miles checking in. Here's the pitch on the way. Miles, the switch hitter, takes down low for a ball.
Pavano, at one time, Pat, I mean, it looks like he's throwing the ball well, but he could bring it. He was in that 95, 97 range, good breaking ball, change up, and the Yankees thought they were getting a gem, and he got hurt right away.
He's a big man. Pavano fires to Miles, who takes a strike. No score, just underway. Warm in the Phoenix area, 77 at game time. Our engineer, Walt Ellis, also puts down the humidity, Ron, at 18%. Very helpful information.
Yes, it is.
Still waiting for the barometric pressure. Here is a throw to first to chase Gathright back in. But Pavano is a big man, 6'5", 240 pounds. 10 years of service time in the big leagues, born in New Britain, Connecticut. He's still only 33 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Good lead by Gathright. He might be going. He's twitching, and Pavano perhaps noticed that as well and chased him back.
And he can run.
This ballpark, 410 feet to dead center, 380 to the alleys, 345 down the lines. Well manicured, the field in great shape. Gathright leads at first. The right-hander fires. Miles takes outside for a ball. Cubs playing well early in this exhibition season. 5-2 is their record so far. The Indians are 2-4-1. It is a split squad situation today. Half of the Cubs are up in Las Vegas, and they'll play at Cashman Field tonight against the White Sox. There goes Gathright. The pitch bounced over Pavano's head. Safe at second is a sliding Gathright. The shortstop Cabrera throws to first to get Miles. That probably, Ronnie, would have been a double play.
Oh, absolutely. If because he had to wait for that ball, and he was hoping that ball would get to him a little sooner, so he could tag second and go to first. But Gathright, he is so quick, and he got Miles easily, but he had to wait for that ball. If he's not going, he just takes a couple steps back, and he's got a double play.
Here is Derek Lee. Derek 2 for 6 so far in the Cactus League. Let's see if he can drive in the game's first run. Swinging a ground ball, left field base hit past the diving Hodges. Gathright to third, holding. The left-handed left fielder Brantley fires it in. Gathright, Ronnie, had to hesitate ever so slightly, thinking the third baseman might glove the ball.
Yeah, he had to do that, and that's, to me, Pat, that's two balls that were hit and a little late on going down to get those balls. Instincts were not real good.
Wes Hodges, the third baseman for the Indians. Here is Milton Bradley, infield back, Cubs with a scoring chance right away. One away, top of the first. Runners lead at the corners. Pavano from the stretch. And Bradley hits a pop fly on the infield. It'll be caught by Barfield at second base.
Got jammed on a good fastball in on him.
Bradley is out, number 2. 2 down. It's up to Jason DuBois. Again, both teams wearing their blue shirts today. The Cubs with a slightly lighter shade of blue. The Indians wearing a navy blue shirt. Cleveland with white trousers, the Cubs wearing gray slacks. Not sure if you call the baseball uniform pants slacks, but we just did.
You did.
You're not going to back me up on that one? Here's the pitch on the outside, just off the corner to Du Bois.
Slacks.
I'm staying with slacks. I was going to change it, but nope, I've already committed myself to slacks.
Yes, you did.
1 ball and no strikes on Du Bois. 2 hits in the opening inning for the Cubs.
I think that's the first time I ever heard you say slacks.
I don't want to slack off this early. Here's the pitch on the way. Chopped foul at the plate. And the count now is 1 ball and 1 strike. Pavano had an amazing litany of injuries. Well, let's take, for example, 2006. He was with the Yankees, did not pitch in spring training because of lower back stiffness. Placed on the disabled list at the end of spring with right shoulder tendonitis. Then he tried to come back and had some sore elbow issues. Finally had elbow surgery to remove a bone chip in May. He came back later in the season, had soreness under his right armpit.
Ooh.
And the pitch hits Du Bois in the left shoulder. That was a fastball.
Yeah, and Du Bois, well, that's a pitch right there that he turned his back to the pitcher, which you have to do. Boy, you don't want to be open up with the ball coming at that speed and right at the shoulder blades.
Bases loaded now. 2 down, top of the first. No score. Brad Snyder, a young left-handed batting right fielder, checks in for the Cubs. Outfield straightaway, a little breeze blowing out. Partly cloudy day, but pleasantly warm. Pavano stretches. The big right-hander fires. Snyder takes a curve for a strike. Getting back to Pavano's injury-riddled 2006 season, he had soreness under the right armpit and then later had a right rib fracture. That was all in 1 year, Ron. And then, just for good measure, in 2007, the next season, he had Tommy John surgery on that right elbow. Curve swinging a foul back. But we remember him when he pitched for the Marlins. And when he was healthy, he was very good.
Oh, he was.
Hard thrower. He was a little intimidating with that size. But now he is trying to make a comeback.
Was he with Montreal when they were...
Way back when, yes.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah, he wore a lot of slacks up there. Bags loaded, 2 down. Snyder waits the pitch. Swinging a base hit up the middle. 1 run is in. Lee around third, heading home. He'll score. The throw goes to third. Safely there is Du Bois with a slide. Cubs lead 2-0. Brad Snyder cracking a line drive up the middle. Pavano got ahead of him with the off-speed stuff, and I think he tried to sneak a fastball past him.
That's what he did, Pat, right there, and he took it right up the middle, actually on the second base side, and a nice piece of hitting. I think earlier in exhibition games, I think he's got 1 home run also.
Snyder now 3 for 9 this spring. He gives the Cubs a quick 2-0 lead, and here's Bobby Scales. Another left-handed stick. Scales 3 for 9 this spring. Pavano's pitch, fastball away. When a pitcher does set you up with the off-speed stuff, are you thinking, I bet he's going to try to sneak a fastball past me?
Well, that's you got to have an idea. Number one, to me.
Check swing foul, Ronnie.
To me, if he's successful, Pat, and I know what you're saying, but it's mainly when you're ahead in the count is what you're thinking. He'd probably throw me a fastball here.
You were always looking fastball, weren't you?
Always, yeah, always. Never adjusted the curveball. And if you stay back, that's the key.
Scales takes high. The count now is 2 balls and 1 strike. 3 hits in the opening inning for the Cubs. A clutch 2-run single by Brad Snyder.
And that pitcher out there is thinking, oh, he's probably looking for another off-speed pitch, and I'm going to throw a fastball.
Now the next offering. Fly ball, pop fly, shallow right. The second baseman, Barfield, drifting out, looking up, and pulls it down to end the inning. But the Cubs with a prosperous first inning. Score twice, leave 2 after a half. Cubs 2 and the Indians coming up. with Ron Santo, Pat Hughes back in Goodyear. Cubs lead 2-0. Chad Godin, a right-hander pitching for the Cubs, facing Josh Barfield.
Well, this spring, Godin is having an opportunity for that fifth starting spot.
Tell us about his stuff, Ronnie.
Well,
he fires a strike.
You know, he's got probably a 90 at times, but I think he's in that 88 range of fastball. Good slider, uses that. Actually, as far as I know, he's got 2 pitches, but he changes speed with that slider. So he kind of uses that as a changeup, and he spots the fastball.
No balls and 2 strikes on Josh Barfield. Godin into his motion. The leg kick and the pitch. Curve popped up foul and out of play. Godin just 5'10", 188. 26 years old. Born in New Orleans. Still lives in Louisiana in the town of Harahan. Came over in the Rich Harden deal with Oakland last summer.
And he started for Oakland 1 year.
Popped up off the hands, foul right side. Lee chasing, no play for Derek. Not much room in foul territory here. But again, this is a very pretty spring park.
Yes, it is.
Let's see, Ronnie getting back. Godin.
Did he have 11
in
wins?
2007, he was 11-13 as a full-time starter. He made 6 starts with the A's a year ago before the Cubs acquired him in that trade. Right before the All-Star break. The pitch. Swinging a foul back and out of play. Godin, as a big leaguer, has made a total of 50 starts. His career record, he was with Tampa, Toronto, Oakland, and now the Cubs. He's 28-25 as a major leaguer. His ERA right around 4.5. Now the 0-2. Curve, check swing, foul. He had him fooled, but
that's his. It looked like, you know, maybe he does throw a curveball, but I'm saying he took something off that pitch. That's why it was so effective.
Center fielder Gathright way over toward right center against Barfield. Now the windup and the 0-2. Curve, he got him swinging.
That was a good pitch.
Barfield chasing a low outside bender. 1 down.
You know, and that was the pitch before that was a breaking ball. They took something off, and that one he just threw hard. So the change of speed was the key.
Cubs lead 2-0, bottom of the first. 1 away, bases empty as Drubal Cabrera, left-handed batting infielder, playing shortstop today. Here's the pitch, fouled away, off to the left. Cabrera slated for a lot of action at second base in the regular season for the Indians.
Could you give me that first name again?
I'll try. It's Asdrubal, Asdrubal, VXZG. Here is a pitch down low for a ball. Wait, I may have added a few. There.
You know, I was thinking here, I was saying to myself, now, how do they come up with a name like that?
Here's the 1-1. It's high and outside for a ball.
What would that be in English? Joe?
Could be. Anthony, maybe. Cubs lead 2-0, bottom of the first. Chad Godin rocks and fires 2-1. Change up, hit in the air to right. Right there is the left-handed Snyder to make the catch. Snyder cracked a 2-run single in the top of the first. He grabs that fly ball for the second out in the bottom of the first. And here's Ben Francisco. Well, when we saw the Cubs would play the Indians, immediately we thought of the 2 newest members of the Indians, Kerry Wood and Mark DeRosa.
Yep.
Kerry will not pitch today. Here's the pitch on the way to Francisco, low and away. And Mark DeRosa is not here. He is with Team USA. They are over in Florida, and shortly they will head to Toronto, where they open up the World Baseball Classic against Team Canada in a few days.
I was watching Canada and the Blue Jays yesterday.
Fastball inside. He nailed him. And Francisco got hit in the left shoulder. And And he trots down to first. 2 outs, a man at first. And the batter, Victor Martinez.
Canada was playing an exhibition game with the Jays, and it was on MLB.
MLB Network?
Yeah, network.
Did you watch that entire game?
No. But I watched it. I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized it was an exhibition game and not because they're going to start playing wind.
Here's the pitch on the way. Line drive over a leaping Lee into the right field corner, a base hit. Francisco rounding third. He's going to try to score. He will. That's going to be a double for Martinez, and the Indians get on the board. A ringing double. Martinez pulled a liner over a leaping Derek Lee. It skittered all the way into the corner in right. Francisco, with good speed, scores all the way from first on the 2-bagger. And the Cub lead is now 2-1. Victor Martinez, a key to this Indian offense. He missed a lot of games last year with elbow surgery. Played in only 73 games, and they dearly missed his stick.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Bo Mills. Bo takes a strike, right?
Anytime I see a catcher hitting fourth, you know he's a good hitting catcher.
Switch hitter,
yeah.
Power. Another big stick that was missing a year ago was Travis Hafner.
Yeah.
Godin now set the 0-1 to Mills. Bounce toward Lee and foul past first. Hafner had shoulder surgery, and he has not yet played in a game, but they missed him. He's a big power guy. And he is, we understand, taking batting practice this weekend. He is scheduled to play in one of these Cactus League games. But the Indians need both a healthy Victor Martinez and a Travis Hafner to have their attack clicking on all cylinders.
And they got a good acquisition in Mark DeRosa. He had a career-high year last year.
The 0-2 hit high in the air, deep right. This ball is going to leave the yard. Long home run for Bo Mills. And the Indians, just like that, lead 3-2.
And that's a slider that just hung right there, Pat. And that's where he's got to keep that ball down. Boy, he got that one.
Godin got the first 2 in the inning, but then he hit a batter, gave up an RBI double to Victor Martinez, and a 2-run homer by Bo Mills gives the Indians a 3-2 lead. It was long gone over the wall and right. Here's Tony Graffinino taking inside. The ball just to the right of the 380 sign and gone by plenty.
Yeah.
The outfield wall is green, padded in that area. Here's a drive into the left field corner. That's going to be in there for an extra base knock. Graffinino has a double. Godin finding the final out elusive.
I just noticed most new ballparks have grass out in the bleacher area, but this ballpark has bleachers. Is there any grass out there that I'm missing?
No, in right field, you're right.
Yeah.
Just above the wall, they do have some little grassy slopes out in left center and right center, but they do have a little tiny bleacher section out there.
Yeah.
Very observant of you, Ron. You got a lot of rest last night.
Oh, plenty.
2 outs, 3 in, a man at second, 3-2 Indians. And here is Matt Laporta. Remember this name. Now, this kid was acquired by Cleveland last summer in the C.C. Sabathia trade with Milwaukee, and he was the key man coming the other way in that transaction. Matt Laporta hits a hot pop-up foul off to the right out of play. This guy's got big legs, and he looks like he could hit a long ball. He's not real tall, but he's sturdy looking, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Laporta this spring, 4 for 10 with a home run. Well, the Brewers acquired C.C. Sabathia from the Indians. And it was one of those deals where the Brewers wanted to go for the playoffs. They made the playoffs. And yet at the end of the year, Sabathia left as a free agent, went to the Yankees. Now the pitch on the way to Laporta, swinging a bouncing ball toward third, foul. Backhanded by Scales, but it was foul by about a foot. 3 straight extra base hits for the Indians. Ronnie, that's always a tough call for an organization. When you want to get somebody to help your team right now get to the playoffs this year, in order to do that, you have to give up some good prospects.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And yet, if you go ahead and make the playoffs, it's hard to criticize the team because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to win.
Yeah. Well, they didn't, that situation, too, Cleveland knew he was going to be a free agent.
Mm-hmm. And they were struggling.
And they were struggling. And
here's the pitch to Laporta. Strike 3 called. Good curveball. Froze him. The inning is over. But the Indians score 3 times. They leave 1. At the end of 1, a lot of action so far. Cleveland 3 and the Cubs 2. Pat and Ron with you from Goodyear, Arizona. 3-2 Indians. We move to inning number 2. Nate Spears leads it off for the Cubs. Mark Johnson to follow, and then Joey Gathright. Carl Pavano fires. It's high for a ball. It's 1-0. Today's game brought to you by Square D. Square D, part of the power at Wrigley Field. Pavano's next offering is a breaking ball for a strike. Well, there are some minor leaguers here brought over from the Cubs minor league camp to supplement the roster today. Again, it's a split squad day with half of the team in Las Vegas. And one of the names caught my eye immediately, Ron, and that was the name of Michael Brenly.
Yeah, isn't it something?
Michael is the son of Bob Brenly.
Yeah.
Cubs television color man along with Len Casper as they start their 5th year together, I believe.
Yes. And they're in Vegas doing the games.
Now, Mike Brenly is much bigger than his dad. He is about 6'3", 230. And also much better looking, I would have to say. Here's a pitch inside for a ball.
He's younger.
But Bob is very, very proud of Michael.
Oh, yes.
He would always come into our booth and tell us what Michael had done the night before in minor league ball last summer. Here's the pitch to Spears. Cracked on the line. Right center in the alley. Base hit. Going all the way to the wall. Spears around second. He's going to motor to third and have a stand-up three-bagger.
Boy, he went down and got a fastball that was low, and he just golfed it into right center.
Spears a leadoff triple. He actually slid at third. He didn't have to.
And he runs well.
And here is Mark Johnson. So the tying run 90 feet away here in the top of the second. Both starting pitchers getting hit fairly hard in the early going. We'll perhaps see Michael Brenly a bit later on today. He's a catcher. And he did a good job at Class A Boise a year ago in his first taste of pro ball. The pitch to Johnson with the infield back is in for a strike. Brenly running in 39 games in Class A ball, hit .325. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
With a homer and 18 RBIs. And boy, if you're a catcher and you can hit a little bit, they'll take a long look at you.
You got that right.
Here's the 0-1. Blown inside to Johnson, another left-handed batter. Michael Brenly played his high school ball here in the Arizona area, played at Notre Dame Prep over in Scottsdale, and then attended the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Now Pavano from the belt delivers. A high curve floats outside, and the count now 2-1.
Pavano today, that breaking ball doesn't look like it's breaking that well.
Again, he's had numerous arm difficulties.
Yeah.
Tommy John elbow reconstructive surgery and shoulder surgery. Fouled away off to the left out of play.
Pretty good fastball there.
Pavano back in 2004, right before he became a free agent, had his best year. He was 18-8 with the Marlins. A lot of young palm trees are lining the grass out beyond the outfield wall. The pitch to Johnson, dribbled foul off the hands.
These palm trees are very tall.
They really are.
Yeah.
90 to 100 feet. And you can tell they were just planted within the last year or so. As you mentioned, the Cincinnati Reds are going to share this complex with the Indians. Here's a foul off to the left and out of play.
And there's a lot of land out here, Pat, and this is probably the best spot in Goodyear to build a ballpark, and their minor league facilities are dynamite. They got about 6 fields each.
All get your work in.
Yep.
Now the pitch to Johnson. Curve, check swing. It's low in the count, 3-2. Indians 3, Cubs 2, top of inning number 2. No broadcast tomorrow. Ronnie and I will have the game on Friday over in Mesa. The Cubs take on the Dodgers. Same time as today. The 3-2. Just outside, ball 4. Now that's kind of interesting, Ronnie. You got a veteran-type pitcher facing a number 9 hitter, and on 3-2 he throws him a breaking ball.
Yeah.
Instead of going right after him. A little surprising.
Well, and usually in spring training, and Pavano, I guess, had a pretty good outing or whatever, and sometimes they throw a lot more fastballs in spring training until they really start to feel good.
First and third, nobody out. Back to the top of the order for Joey Gathright. Joey ignited the Cubs' first inning with a leadoff single on the game's first pitch. Gathright now 4 for 9. He's been impressive in the few times we've seen him.
Well, and made 2 outstanding plays the other day, center field.
The left-handed leadoff man waits. The pitch, swing and a miss. I got to know him a little bit at the Cubs convention in downtown Chicago in January. Very outgoing, very fun guy to be around, always smiling. But the way that he plays, Ron, with speed and defense, He's the kind of guy that can give a team some energy.
Yeah, exactly, Pat. And he knows.
Inside, almost hit him in the right knee. Go ahead.
He's a guy that knows that he's got great speed. He's a good outfielder. And as far as hitting, he's not going to hit the long ball. He realizes he's got to make contact, especially with the speed he has. Keep the ball on the ground as much as he can.
First and third, nobody out. Pavano's 1-1. Swinging a tap foul by Gathright. 1-2.
And Lou had Gathright, and that's why he was happy to get him.
In Tampa.
Yeah.
Well, it's a valuable guy to have late in a tie game.
Yeah.
Somebody gets on to lead off the ninth inning and say you're at Wrigley Field and it's 3-3. It's nice to put him on first base and let him pinch run and possibly even steal a base and then get sacrificed over to third, and all of a sudden you're knocking on the door of a win. That's kind of a luxury for a team to have, really.
Mm-hmm.
Now the pitch to Gathright, fouled away off to the left and out of play.
And this team can afford him. What I mean by that is we've got a very good hitting ball club. And, he's going to get a lot of opportunities in late ball games. And I'm assuming if he makes this ball club, it just depends. I don't know which way Lou was talking, maybe an extra infielder or an extra outfielder.
Outside, a curveball miss, 2-2. Pavano laboring a little bit. Unable to find the strike zone with any consistency. He's been touched for 4 hits. He has hit a batter and walked a batter. Now the pitch. Gathright takes strike 3 call. Fastball on the inside corner at the belt.
He knew it. He was not looking for that fastball there. And to me, that does surprise me, because you can't be thinking that he's going to throw you a breaking ball when he's got 2 strikes on you in that situation.
3-2 Indians, top of the second, 1 away, first and third. Aaron Miles, the batter, fouls it away off to the left, out of play. Again, just a gentle breeze blowing out toward right. Temperature right around 80 degrees. Hazy sunshine. Weather has been just beautiful the last several days here in Arizona. Every ball player, every pitcher, every hitter easily able to get in all the work that they desire. The pitch. Miles backs away from an inside delivery. 1-1. Carlos Zambrano pitched the other day, 2 shutout innings in his first stint of the spring.
Yeah, I was there. I watched him. He looked good. He's really in good shape.
Now the 1-1. Miles takes a strike on the inside. Rich Harden is getting closer. He has not yet pitched in an actual Cactus League game, but he has pitched to live batting practice hitters. And it's only a matter of time before Lou Piniella and Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, get him into regular work in spring training games. Here's a ground ball, weakly hit left side. A run will score. A throw to second, 1, and the throw to first not in time. Scoring on the play, Spears. Hodges, the third baseman, took that slow roller, and they almost turned a double play. They got the lead man at second, Johnson, but Miles, the left-handed batter, just able to beat the relay.
Yeah, that was a good play. I was really surprised. Sometimes, a ball hit like that, you might just make sure of 1 at the time. But he decided to go to second, almost got a double play.
The run is in. The game is tied 3-3. 2 down, and here's Derek Lee with Miles at first. Give Miles the RBI. Miles got jammed on that pitch a minute ago. Ron, explain why, as a batter, when you get jammed on a grounder, you don't get out of the box quickly.
Well, because you're back, you're flat-footed. You're, a pitch.
Swing and a miss by Derek.
If your balance is good, you know, you got a pitch, a hit, really good pitch hit, but when you get jammed, you bring your arms in, and all of a sudden you're flat-footed and you don't get out. You don't extend where you're got a step going towards first base.
Lee singled and scored a run his first time. The pitch, Derek takes a breaking ball outside. Lee and Pavano were teammates in Florida with the Marlins. Derek now 3 for 7 in Cactus League play this spring. Wearing bright white batting gloves on each hand. Here's the 1-1. Lee lines one to right, deep. Back goes Laporta. Laporta makes the catch going away near the track in deep right center. The right-handed right fielder took the proper angle and made a good play. Cubs get a run, 1 hit, leave 1. After an inning and a half, Cubs 3, Indians 3. Chad Godin to Wes Hodges. Right-handed batting third baseman will take a strike, and it's 0-1. Bottom of the second inning, game tied at 3. Cubs out hitting the Indians 4-3. Cubs managed today by Bobby Dickerson here in Goodyear. Fastball hit high in the air, pop fly shallow left center. Du Bois and Gathright converge. Gathright, the center fielder, gloves it for out number 1. Lou Piniella is with the other half of the split squad in Las Vegas. I know, Ron, you interviewed Bobby Dickerson before the game.
And yes, I did, and it was quite an interview.
One of the best I've heard.
Well, always the ones you lose are the best.
It was a technical difficulty.
Yes.
It's rather heartbreaking to Ron Santo. He was talking about submitting that for a Peabody Award. Here is Michael Brantley taking a strike, and it's 0-1.
That's the second time this has happened to me. First time was my fault, but the second time, it's not my fault.
Here is the next offering to Brantley outside for a ball. Well, again, Walt Ellis, our engineer. Walt was, he had other issues before the game, Ron. You should have seen the size of the plate of food that he brought.
I saw it. Are you kidding me?
1-1 pitch, fly ball, shallow right center. Gathright should make a routine catch, and he does. 2 down.
He piled like pancakes. 3 chickens.
He couldn't be bothered with interviews at that time. I was working feverishly here, preparing for the broadcast. And finally, I went in for a little bit of lunch. And I said, "Where is the chicken?" They said, "Sorry, Walt was here 10 minutes ago."
I thought he was bringing something in for you.
I thought it was for all 3 of us when he brought that plate in. Here's Barfield taking inside for a ball. Walt now is taking a little afternoon nap during the second inning. Godin rocks and fires again. Here's the pitch. Fouled away, back to the screen. 1-1. Game tied at 3. Bottom of inning number 2. The Indians will play at Wrigley Field during the regular season, part of the interleague package. Now Godin's offering. Line towards second, one hop. Glove by Spears. Over to Lee, and that's that. 1, 2, 3. We've played 2 innings in Goodyear, Arizona. Cubs 3, Indians 3. Right-hander Fausto Carmona, one of the Indians' starting pitchers, will be on to work here in the third. Had kind of a mediocre campaign a year ago with an ERA of around 5.5.
Wow.
He had 8 wins and 7 losses. Fausto Carmona from the Dominican Republic. He is 6'4", 230 pounds.
And he's got a very fluid windup. His mechanics look very good. Good changeup, I noticed. And fastball looks like it's 90.
2 years ago, Ron, he was one of the better pitchers in all of baseball. He was 19-8 for
Wow.
the Indians. Here's the pitch to Milton Bradley. He swings and fouls it away at the plate. Bradley popped out in the first inning. He had been out for about a week with some mild tightness in his left thigh. Today, this is only his second ball game, and he had only 1 plate appearance before today. Here's a ground ball to the hole at short. It'll be backhanded by Cabrera. Comes up throwing to get him. 1 away. Bradley bounces out to short, and here's Jason Du Bois. Thinking of Carmona, though, pitching 2 years ago, the Indians, 2 seasons ago, you kind of forget things that happened, but the Indians came within 1 game of getting to the World Series. They had a 3-1 lead in the ALCS against Boston.
Yeah.
Before they lost Game 5 at home, and then had to go to Fenway Park, and they lost both there. Here's a line drive, base hit to center. Jason Du Bois, a 1-out single. Game tied at 3, third inning, and here's Snyder. Brad Snyder cracked a 2-run single his first time. The Cub fans know all too well how painfully close that is to get to within 1 win in the ALCS or the NLCS, only to see the other team come roaring back. That hurts. Here is Snyder. Cubs got 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Cleveland got all 3 of theirs in the first inning as Carmona fires a strike. Cleveland managed by Eric Wedge. He's been their manager since May of 2003. They've got some good teams.
Yeah, they really have. He's done a good job.
Now, this is the first spring since Wedge has been here in which they have not had C.C. Sabathia to start the season. He was their ace, really, for about 5 years. But they've got a new ace these days, Cliff Lee. Cliff, the reigning Cy Young Award winner in the American League. This Cleveland team a year ago was exactly 500. They were 81 and 81. But quietly, and I say quietly, whenever a guy is pitching for a team that's not a contender, you can kind of slide under the radar a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And Cliff Lee, Ronnie, was 22 and 3. What a year that left-hander had.
He came out of their organization, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the pitch bounced back to Carmona. Go to second. There's one over to first. That's not in time.
That's in the
The
stand.
ball bounces off of the runner, Snyder, and up into the seats. Hard slide at second by Du Bois. He really got down there and was all over the shortstop Cabrera as he made the throw.
Where did that ball hit him?
I thought it hit the arm of Snyder as the first baseman, Graffinino, was reaching for it to the home plate side of first. I don't know that Tony got a glove on it. I thought it hit the arm of Snyder and skipped up into the stands. Snyder will go to second. It's a throwing error, I think, on the shortstop Cabrera.
Yeah.
But credit Du Bois with some aggressive base running, Ron.
Yeah.
That's good ball.
It's good baseball.
Fielder's choice and E6.
Fielder's choice, error on the shortstop, Snyder's second base.
And Bobby Scales the batter. 3-3 tie, top of the third. Carmona's pitch is high for a ball. The Indians have another starting pitcher who is out till at least mid-season. And he's been one of their main starters, Jake Westbrook. He had Tommy John surgery a year ago. The pitch. It's high for a ball. That should be an interesting division race at American League Central. There's really no clear-cut favorite. The White Sox are the defending champs. But Cleveland figures to be in the hunt with getting Kerry Wood and Mark DeRosa, and they're hoping that Westbrook can come back, and injured guys like Hafner and Martinez can provide some punch to their order. The Tigers have to be better than they were a year ago, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't ever forget about Minnesota. Seems like they're always in the hunt.
That's for sure. They're like Cardinals.
Fly ball left field, pretty well hit. Back toward the wall is Brantley. Brantley makes the catch near the warning track in deep left. Bobby Scales gave it a long ride, but Brantley hauls it in. Cubs don't score. We've played 2.5 innings. It's the Cubs 3 and the Indians 3. Chad Godin will work a third inning, and his first pitch in the bottom of the third is upstairs to Asdrubal Cabrera. Cubs 3, Indians 3, inning number 3. We thank you for joining us today. Nice lazy day in Arizona. Fans kind of basking in the sunshine, shirt sleeves and shorts. It's not a sellout. This park holds about 8,000. Here's a dribbler foul right side. It holds 8,000 in the seated area, and they can accommodate another 2,000 fans out beyond the outfield barriers.
So it's 10,000?
If it's completely jammed up, yeah. Godin's pitch. Poked foul back to the screen by Cabrera.
Most of the new ballparks, the one in Glendale holds 13,000, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. And our park is second in Mesa, 12.5.
Cabrera flied to right his first time. Chad Godin, the leg kick, and the 2-2. Curve is low, 3-2.
What do you think surprise holds? About 9, 8, 9?
We were there. That's where Texas has their camp. I'd say about that. It's been a while since I've been there. Here's the windup, and now the 3-2. Line towards center, a base hit. Pitch was about belt high, and Cabrera rounds first as Gathright gets it back in. It's a leadoff single. 5 hits against Chad Godin. Leadoff single by Cabrera, and here is Francisco. Correction, that's 4 hits for the Tribe. But I mentioned these guys are going to be at Wrigley Field. The Indians come to Wrigley in the month of June for a weekend series. Francisco hit by a pitch in the first inning. Godin's pitch from the stretch, in for a strike. The White Sox start that week with a series at Wrigley starting on Tuesday night. And we mentioned the other day, for the first time ever, a Cubs-White Sox series will be in the middle of the week and not on the weekend. The pitch. Fastball is inside. Not that it's a big deal. There's still ball games.
Oh, yeah, and they'll still be packed.
Yeah. But right after the White Sox leave town on Thursday, the Indians come in for the weekend. Godin, a quick throw to first, diving back just safely as Cabrera.
And I like the idea. You break up it would be 3, 6, 9-game series by coming home from Detroit, right? We're in Detroit, and then we play the Sox.
That's on the next road trip.
Yeah.
At the end of June. Here's a hit and run, a chopper foul left side. Big jump by Cabrera at first. In late June, the Cubs go to Detroit for 3, come back to Chicago to play the White Sox at U.S. Cell, and then right back on the road to play the Pirates at beautiful PNC.
Yeah, and then we're back again, right?
Mm-hmm. Thinking of traveling, and here's a throw to first. See where the first games for the World Baseball Classic are scheduled for tomorrow at Tokyo. China plays Japan. Starting time, it says in the magazine I'm reading. Here's a ground ball. That is foul past third. It says the starting time, Ronnie, is 4:30 a.m.
Oh, I'll be up.
Well, then you'll be happy to get up the next day at 4:30 a.m. again for the Taiwan game against South Korea.
No, I'm only going to listen to Japan because of Fukudome.
Kosuke is on Team Japan. Here's the stretch by Godin and the pitch. Breaking ball got him looking. Strike 3 call. Ben Francisco is out number 1.
Good curveball.
Tie game in the third. Here's Victor Martinez. He lashed an RBI double his first time. I was looking at some interesting rules in this World Baseball Classic, which starts tomorrow and will continue and culminate with the championship game on Monday, March 23rd in Los Angeles. So for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you'll be hearing a lot about the World Baseball Classic. Foul back. And again, Team USA, they start up in Toronto this Saturday against Canada. But how about this, Ron? Now, here's a rule for extra inning games. Kind of interesting when you think about it. If a game goes extra innings, they'll play regular baseball in the 10th, 11th, and 12th. If it goes into the 13th inning, and this is only in the WBC, here's the next offering. Martinez takes low and in. If an extra inning game goes to the 13th inning, the 13th will begin with runners on first and second base for both clubs.
Nobody out?
So it'll obviously make it easier for one or both teams to score runs. But that is something I'd never even thought of before. Here's a fly ball into left center, pretty well hit. Back goes Du Bois near the track. The left fielder makes the catch after a long gallop. Getting back to first is Cabrera, 2 down. Pretty nice catch.
Yeah, it was a very nice catch, and Du Bois was playing him over quite a bit. Martinez, I feel, he'll hit the ball all fields, but really can pull that ball.
So if the game goes to the 13th, each club, it's like a football overtime game. Like college football where you start on, the 20 or the 25-yard line.
You're right.
And you have a chance to score. Same type of theory. It says that the batting order will be picked up where the previous inning left off, but the previous 2 batters in the order will be placed on first and second base. I say let's see how it works out. Let's give it a try. Here's a curveball high for a ball. Video replay will be used according to the rules adopted in the big leagues last season. Again, this is for the World Baseball Classic. They have pitch limits, and that is out of respect to the guys who play in the big leagues and play professionally in Japan and elsewhere. The pitch limits, now this was a little alarming. Pitch limits have increased from 65 to 70 in round 1. The limit is 85 in the second round, and you can actually, if a manager or a pitcher wishes, he can make 100 pitches in the semifinals and the final. Now, I'm only offering this as an opinion. There's not a single manager or pitching coach in baseball or general manager that wants to see one of his guys work 100 pitches. Ground ball to Lee, gloves it, he'll take it to the bag to end the inning.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
You don't want a guy going 100 pitches, Ronnie, on March the 21st when you've got 7 months of baseball to follow. The inning is over. The Indians do not score despite a leadoff single. We go to the 4th. It remains Cubs 3, Indians 3. Fausto Carmona fires to Nate Spears as the fourth inning commences here in Goodyear, Arizona. First pitch inside, the ball game tied 3-3. We have a brand new sponsor, Geico Insurance. Great to have Geico along after the 15th out of the game. In fact, the 15th out of the game is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on auto insurance. Geico. Spears takes a fastball strike, and the count now 2-1.
You don't think with the World Baseball, you don't think they implement the rule like that in Major League Baseball, do you?
What's that, Ron?
Well, the rule that you put two guys on base in the 13th inning and go from there. I'm talking about Major League Baseball.
Spears takes low and in. You know, I read about it just yesterday or this morning, and I had never even thought about it, so I'm still trying to see, and I wonder how it'll actually work in a game. So I think, to answer your question, I think we have to see how it works, how it feels, how it looks, and then act accordingly. But I wouldn't mind it. I like the concept.
Yeah, in other words, as broadcasters, you wouldn't mind.
Well, I'm not crazy about an 18 or 19 inning game, are you?
Who is?
Being honest.
Players aren't crazy about that either. But, boy, that puts a lot of pressure on the pitch.
It sure does. Yes, it does. Here's the pitch low and inside for a ball.
That's one more.
Yeah, you're sweating right from the first pitch.
Oh, yeah.
But it is dramatic.
Yeah.
And you could almost feel some buzz in the ballpark, you would imagine, if the inning would start with guys automatically on first and second base. So that'll happen in the World Baseball Classic. And Ron, you and I were talking during the commercial about the WBC. Here's the pitch on the way to Mark Johnson, and it's in for a strike. And I understand what baseball is trying to do with the WBC. You're trying to get global interest and global marketing for baseball. It is a great, great game, and I think the more countries that are aware of how great baseball is, the better. But you certainly hope that everyone stays healthy during the games.
You know, with the salaries today and the big player, and mostly, I mean, everybody wants to play for their country, but we're talking about players, I mean, possible Hall of Famers. I mean, and for that in spring training, I'd worry about an injury for sure. I think every manager does. So it's I'm surprised that, well, there's a lot of players that didn't play for their country because I think of that fact. It's a long season.
And the potential for
injury, definitely.
Mark Johnson waits for the 0-2 from Carmona. Here's a high fly ball, shallow right center. Francisco in, Barfield out. Now the right fielder comes over, and Matt Laporta makes the catch. One down. A man at first, game tied at 3, and here's Joey Gathright. I was chuckling reading the story about the Yankees. The Yankees played an exhibition game against Team USA yesterday over in Florida.
Oh, yeah?
And Derek Jeter, the Yankee captain, plays for Team USA. Now, that to me seems a little odd.
Yeah.
Here you've got one of your more valuable guys and one of your higher salaried guys, I might add, Derek Jeter. And here he is playing against the Yankees in an exhibition game about a month before the regular season. Joe Girardi made a point, Ron, to tell his pitchers, don't throw inside against Jeter.
Yeah.
I don't want him breaking a wrist.
Oh, I agree.
Here's a pitch, swing and a miss.
But, you got to realize that anybody going out there and who's trying to make the ball club, he's not thinking, sure, keep the ball away, but pitchers, if they could pitch high and tight and low and away, nobody would hit.
That's right.
I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Gathright is 1 for 2, singled and scored a run. He takes inside. But Girardi told his pitchers, throw outside to Jeter. Don't come inside.
Yeah.
The first pitch he faced was a fastball inside. And Girardi said, oh, my goodness. he almost fainted.
Yeah.
Here's a pitch low and inside for a ball. But Phil Hughes was pitching for the Yankees, and he was given orders by Joe Girardi, don't even come close to Jeter. He's too valuable. But again, like you say, once you get into the heat of competition, when you get out there and you're playing, you're thinking about one thing. You're trying to win that ball game.
You know, Pat, I've always felt, and I try to think about what, Grady Hatton was my manager in Double-A ball, and if you worry about getting hurt, you're going to get hurt. So you can't worry about it. You got to worry about winning. That's what you worry about.
Here's the pitch to Gathright. Bounce to second. Glove by Barfield. Go to second one. Over to first. Not in time. Gathright beat the relay. Man, can he fly.
Yeah, he can run. He's a little upset that...
2 outs in the inning. Ball game tied 3-3. Top of the fourth here in Goodyear. And the batter is Aaron Miles. Miles has grounded out and hit into a fielder's choice to drive in a run. See if Gathright runs. This might be a spot to move. Here's a liner foul the other way down the line and left.
Well, he did run in our first game we did. He stole second base a couple times, or he got thrown out once and stole the base.
Fausto Carmona working his second inning. Carl Pavano started, gave up all of the damage, 3 runs. The Cubs scoring a 2-run single by Brad Snyder in the first, and an Aaron Miles fielder's choice bouncer in the second. Cleveland scoring their 3 on an RBI double by Victor Martinez and a 2-run homer by Bo Mills. Both of those against Chad Godin. Thinking of the World Baseball Classic, though, it represents kind of an audition for 3 very well-known ball players trying to hang on to their big league careers. Here's a bouncer to third. It'll be picked by Hodges. He wings it over to first. Low, dug out skillfully by Grappanino to end the inning. Get back to the auditions later on. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Middle of the fourth, Cubs 3, Cleveland 3. For every Cub player who draws a walk today, Walgreens makes a $100 contribution to Ron Santo's Walk for the Cure for JDRF. With Ron Santo, Pat Hughes at Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona, just west of Phoenix. Pleasant, warm, sunny Arizona day. Tony Graffinino takes high as the bottom of the fourth gets underway. The new Cub pitcher is left-hander Ed Camposano. Ed Camposano kicks and fires. Fastball is high. Ron, I was reading about the auditioning going on at the World Baseball Classic. Bernie Williams, former Yankees center fielder, is playing in the WBC representing Puerto Rico. Ivan Rodriguez also playing for Puerto Rico. And Pedro Martinez representing the Dominican Republic. And all three of those guys are still looking and hoping to continue their big league career, but they are unsigned at this point. All former All-Stars, potential Hall of Famers in the case of Pedro and probably Ivan Rodriguez.
Pedro Martinez, who else? Rodriguez?
And Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge.
Yeah.
And Bernie Williams, the former slender switch-hitting
I know,
fielder.
but he's out of baseball, isn't he?
He has been, but he says he would like to come back maybe.
Oh,
fastball, strike three call. That's what I'm reading here, Ron. He says you can't come in here and not feel the fire of competition.
I know. I read an article on that, but I thought he was just saying that he's going to play, but in this game only, I felt. But
we'll see.
Yeah.
We saw Pedro Martinez. I don't think you made the trip to Shea at the end of last year. In fact, I'm sure you did not. We saw him against the Cubs, and he did not have the stuff he used to. Nowhere close.
I saw him. I was maybe I don't think I did make that trip. I watched him on TV, and I was there though when Hoffpower had 5 hits, hit 2 home runs, hit 1 off him.
That was the night, Ron.
Yeah.
But Pedro for the Mets a year ago struggled. Here's a fastball from Camposano high to Matt Laporta. 2 balls and no strikes. 3-3 ball game, bottom of the fourth. 1 away, bases empty. Pedro with the Mets had an ERA of 5.6.
Yeah.
And his record, 5 wins, 6 losses. Here's the pitch outside. That's ball 4. Laporta draws the 1-out walk, and it brings up Wes Hodges. Hodges flied to center his first time. Some injury updates. Thinking of the New York Mets, though, they are thinking that their ace, Johan Santana, will probably not be their opening day starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Here's a fastball high. You mentioned the other day, Ron, about his elbow problem. Johan Santana with a tender elbow. He is hoping to avoid the disabled list, but they're already looking at the second series of the regular season.
And they felt they might send him back to New York to get a check.
He has not yet pitched in a spring game for the Mets. The Milwaukee Brewers are concerned about their new free agent, Braden Looper.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Is the pitch to Hodges. Instead, the lefty chases the runner Graffinino back. Or it's Laporta, rather. Laporta, not Graffinino, running at first. Braden Looper, former Cardinal, signed by the Brewers as a free agent to be a starting pitcher, might open the season on the disabled list. There's a swing and a smash foul down the left field line. Manager Ken Maka said, yeah, that's a chance. That's a possibility that he'll be disabled. And he suffered a strained stomach muscle in his left side after sneezing.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. I have yet to hurt myself sneezing.
You're not trying hard enough. Here's a swing and a miss. Throw to second, not in time. Good curveball by Camposano. Laporta got a big jump and steals second. The count 1-2. Didn't Sammy Sosa?
Yeah,
sneeze
he did something. Yeah,
in San Diego back
right
about 2004, and he had to be disabled for a couple of weeks.
Well, you got to let it out when you sneeze. You got to let it out. You can't try to hold it in, because that'll really get you. You know, be quiet about it.
Here is a fly ball into left center. I want to hear more details. This ball will be caught by Gathright. Laporta, a big sneezer himself, will go to third after the catch. 2 down as Hodges flies to center. So is there a certain technique
Well,
involved?
no, it's just a matter of when I'm, watching TV and really into a movie or something, and my wife, when she sneezes, scares the heck out of me. I mean, it's so loud. And when I sneeze, I let it out. But you ever been with somebody that tries to be quiet about it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
Brantley takes down low for a ball. But your wife is a loud sneezer?
Oh, gosh, is she a loud sneezer? Ooh.
Do the neighbors ever say anything?
No. But
here's the pitch. Line to right. There's a base hit, and the Indians lead. Over to cut it off is Snyder on the second bounce and get it back in. Michael Brantley lashing a base hit into right center. He hung in there well against the left-hander and gives the Indians a 4-3 lead.
Yeah, you could see that. He hangs in there very well. That was a good fastball. Looked like a little in on him, and he just ripped it.
Cleveland takes the lead. Camposano walking a man with one away. Laporta stole second and scores the go-ahead run. Here's Josh Barfield taking a strike. So you don't like when people stifle their sneeze?
I think I've never tried, and I've never had a problem. I mean, maybe people saying, could you keep it down a little bit, but well, that's it.
Here's the 0-1. Instead, a toss to first. Not in time, so you admit you're a loud sneezer also. Is that one of the things that brought you and your wife together in the first place?
Well, I didn't realize this until recently.
Swing and a miss. Runner goes. Throw to second. Not in time. Brantley with a steal.
Have you ever been really into a program of some kind, and everything's quiet, and you're relaxed, and all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, it sounds almost like a yell, And have you ever happened to you?
Not recently, but thanks for asking.
Yeah. Well, I was saying, because when you get into things, you probably don't hear nothing.
Here is a foul out of play off to the right. No, of course that's happened before. The dogs sometimes let out a big howl.
Yeah. Your dogs?
Yeah.
They howl?
Yeah. Sure they do. A little combination Bichon Frise Chihuahuas. You bet they howl loudly.
Goes well with your house.
The 1-2 line to left. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Meaning
this ball is
hellacious estate that you have, and these dogs.
2 outs, a run in. I went over to your mansion, the estate, one time, and I said, what a beautiful house this is. And Ron said, I don't live there. That's where the dogs stay. Deep fly ball to left, but it'll be caught by Du Bois to end the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, and a lot of sneezing. We go to the 5th. The score, Indians 4, Cubs 3. Rich Rundles is the new left-handed pitcher for the Indians as we move to inning number 5. It is the 5th inning, the Fifth Third Bank 5th inning. Great to have Fifth Third Bank back once again on Cubs radio for 2009. They've been with us for a while. The Fifth Third Bank 5th inning. With Ron Santo, Pat Hughes in Goodyear, Arizona. Cleveland 4, Cubs 3. Derek Lee batting for the 3rd time. He's had some good-looking swings, singling and lining deep to right. Rundles, a left-hander, fires, and Lee takes inside ball 1. Derek now 3 for 8 this spring. The next pitch taken low and away for a ball. 2-0. Getting back to Braden Looper, he'll be sidelined for at least 10 days right now. And they hope that rib cage muscle improves so that they don't have to disable him for the regular season, but they might. And the reason I'll keep a close eye on that one, Ronnie, because he could, if he's healthy, he could pitch against the Cubs in that opening weekend. Cubs play their first 3 down in Houston and then go right to Milwaukee for 3. Opening day at Wrigley Field Monday, April the 13th against Colorado. Lee hits a bouncer to short. He got jammed. And Cabrera will throw out Derek Lee, 1 down. Opening day at Wrigley. Cubs and Rockies. April the 13th, a 1:20 afternoon game. No game on the 14th. Colorado stays in town for a series finale on Wednesday the 15th.
Well, I like that because that gives you a chance to get settled that off day. You know, coming home after a 6-day road trip.
We mentioned the other day, Ron, that Sunday night game in Milwaukee will make that a quick turnaround for the opener the next day at Wrigley.
I'm surprised they did that.
Milton Bradley batting right-handed now. He has popped out and grounded out. Rundles delivers. Fastball strike. Good pitch on the outside. Cleveland leading by a run here in the 5th. Now the next offering. Bradley hits one in the air to right, down the line. Long run, Laporta toward the corner. Can't get it. Bounces off the wall. Bradley will go to second and hold on. He's had that tender left thigh, and he did not want to extend himself too much.
And I think they'll pitch run for him.
Right you are, Ron.
Yeah. And that'll be it probably for him and Lee.
Milton Bradley cracking a double the opposite way. It's his first hit of the Cactus League, and several of the Cubs go down to give him a high five as he returns to the third base dugout. So the tying run at second, 1 away, and the batter Jason Du Bois. Du Bois has reached twice, having been hit by a pitch and singling. Rundles deals a fastball strike. And speaking of Wrigley Field, the Cubs have announced that tickets are on sale for this 2009 season. Give the Cubs a call at 1-800-THE-CUBS or go online at Cubs.com. Du Bois takes strike 2 call. Cubs.com, www.cubs.com. Ticket information is there. If you're calling from out of state, the number is 866-652-2827. Rundles glances back at the pinch runner. That's Ty Wright, and a fastball swung on and missed, strike 3.
Yeah, he went after a high inside fastball. Reynolds seems to, Pat, he throws a lot of pitches inside to right-handers. And that's when you get 2 strikes. I've always said this. That left-hander can bust you inside and just freeze you.
Rundles has left the game. The new pitcher for the Indians is Scott Lewis. Scott Lewis.
Well,
2 outs, and here's Snyder.
Well, Lewis is doing that then.
Here's a pitch outside for a ball.
What was the other guy's name?
Rundles.
Rendles?
Rundles has rundled off the field. And Lewis is the new pitcher for the Indians. Lefty to lefty now. Snyder takes inside for a ball. Well, again, we are not right in the broadcast with the public address announcer and the media relations folks. They are notified of the changes well before we are. In fact, we are never informed sometimes.
That's exactly right.
Here's the pitch fouled away.
I was waiting you to get there because I was going to say it.
And I thought I heard the name Rundles, but I saw this young left-hander turn around, and he was number 46 instead of 56. Not that any of this is stimulating at all.
Well,
2 balls and 1 strike on Snyder.
Your timing was a little off because it was after I called him, and you said.
Makes you want to sneeze, doesn't it? Here's a pitch outside for a ball, 3-1.
It was like the other day. Well, we have some changes, Ron.
Just keep you on your toes.
Yeah, sure.
Snyder had a 2-run single in the first. Now the pitch by Lewis. Fastball is high. Ball 4. A 2-out walk, and the batter, Bobby Scales. Thinking of left-handers, one guy I wanted to mention who's really been impressive, and it's very early, still over a month before opening day, but when you're in a position trying to win a job like Sean Marshall is, these games, they mean something.
Oh, you better believe it.
And Lou Piniella very, very happy with Sean Marshall.
Well, he was outstanding yesterday.
Bouncing ball towards second, gloved by Barfield. The second baseman, a backhand flip to Cabrera. Jumps to avoid the sliding Snyder, takes the throw, and ends the inning. Cubs don't score. They get a double and a walk as we've played 4 1/2. The score, the Indians 4 and the Cubs 3. The new Cub pitcher, a young right-hander brought over from the minor league facility, Brian Schleider. He is from Park Ridge. He went to Maine South High School in the Chicagoland area, attended Lake County Community College in Lake City, Florida, and eventually to the College of Charleston.
When was he signed?
See here, Ron. He was actually acquired by the Cubs last August in the Scott Air trade with Philadelphia. First pitch is down low from Schleider. He's 23, big kid and a hard thrower.
Yes, he is.
6'5", 235. But he runs it up there in a hurry.
Wow.
Here's a ball outside. The count now is 2 balls and no strikes.
It's probably, you know, as hard as he throws, a little bit wild. We noticed him warming up.
There's ball 3, low and inside. Schleider selected by the Phillies in the 16th round of the 2007 draft. But when veteran left-hander Scott Air was traded to the Phils last summer, Schleider came the other way in the deal. Here's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Cabrera.
Yeah, and he's got to have another pitch there other than that fastball.
Leadoff walk, Indians 4, Cubs 3. Jim Adduci now is playing first base for the Cubs, replacing Derek Lee. Jim Adduci. His father played in the big leagues for the Milwaukee Brewers about 20 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were you there?
Yes.
Oh.
He was a left-handed batter, a good pinch hitter, really a good guy. Here's the pitch, popped up. This ball is foul, playable for the catcher Johnson, and he makes the catch. Ben Francisco fouls out to the catcher, 1 away, and here comes Victor Martinez. Martinez has doubled to drive in a run and flied to left. Indians lead 4-3, inning number 5. Big lead at first by Cabrera. Martinez batting left-handed against Schleider. Here's the pitch. Down low for a ball. It's 1-0. Cubs got 2 in the first, 1 in the second. The Indians got 3 in the first and 1 in the fourth. Now the stretch from Schleider, the pitch. A swing and a high pop fly. This is foul. It's playable, I believe. Yes, for Johnson. He's got it.
Almost the same place, a little higher.
2 down. Johnson, the catcher, gloving that pop fly only about 10 feet away from home plate. Just off to the first base side. 2 down. Here's Bo Mills. Bo had the game's big blow, a 2-run homer in the first. Waiting for the attendance figure. It's going to be somewhere in the probably 6,500 to 7,000 range, maybe a few more. Got some folks on the grassy slopes out beyond the walls. Pick off, throw to first, not in time, almost had him. Cabrera leaning towards second, almost got nailed.
Looks like he wants to run.
Here's the pitch, bounce toward the middle. That's a base hit. Past the diving Spears, motoring around second, going to third safely is Cabrera on a single by Bo Mills. Two outs, men at first and third for Tony Graffinino. Schleider, born in Oak Park, still makes his home in Park Ridge. Park Ridge, that's where Cubs general manager Jim Hendry makes his home.
Yeah.
Didn't I read that they've named a street after Jim Hendry in Park Ridge?
Geez, I'm not. You know, they might have.
Pretty sure they did. It's right next to Santo Boulevard. Here's a bouncing ball to short. Fielded by Miles. Shovels it to Spears in time to end the inning. I bet you have streets named after you. Don't you?
You know, I don't know.
Well, we'll get back to this later on. No runs on a hit, 2 left. We've played 5. The score, Indians 4, Cubs 3. With Ron Santo, Pat Hughes in Goodyear, Arizona. Indians 4, Cubs 3. Top of inning number 6. Nate Spears first up against Lewis. Mark Johnson on deck, and then Joey Gathright. Lefty to lefty. Here's the first pitch in the 6th inning, and Spears will take down low, ball 1. Substitutions all over the place. Stephen Head is the new right fielder for the Tribe. Lewis' next offering is upstairs, 1-1. And again, we know there are some other changes. We will notify you of them as soon as we find out. The next pitch, line toward right center, toward the gap. That's a base hit. Head over to cut it off, does. And stumbling and falling around first is Spears. He'll have to hold for a single.
I think, Pat, he was going to go, but then he saw that they got to the ball very quickly, and he kind of, I don't know if he stumbled or slid in order to get back to first base.
It was a stumble, I guess. I
was
watching him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's at first. Here's Mark Johnson. Cubs out hitting the Tribe 7-6. Down by a run. Now the pitch on the way. Down low for a ball. 1-0. Getting back to Kerry Wood, though, he was out for the first week of spring training. A little sore back, but it was not really a big deal, according to the people we have talked to here in the Indians camp. There is a strike, but they're hoping that Kerry can step right into that closer's role. Signed a 2-year deal in the offseason. I was reading about Carlos Zambrano. He and Kerry Wood, very close friends.
Mm-hmm. Kerry's close to everybody.
Here's the throw to first, not in time. But Carlos was saying that he'll really miss Kerry Wood. Kerry certainly was one of the team leaders.
Marmol is going to miss him a lot. Kerry was his mentor.
There's a strike in the count, 1-2.
I'm going to miss him.
Yeah, Kerry was a good guy. Easy to be around, very personable, always had time for people. Did a lot of charity work. He and his wife, Sarah. Here's the pitch in there for a call, strike 3. Johnson caught looking, one away. And back to the leadoff man, Joey Gathright. Gathright today has singled, struck out, and forced a runner. Cubs trail by a run here in the 6th. Shallow at third, in on the grass is Hodges. Lewis chases the runner Spears back to first. A real thin cloud cover overhead. Very pleasant day in Arizona, though. Nice and warm. Fastball is high, Ron.
The temperatures have been way up there in February, and towards the end there, and now it's heading back down into the 70s, which is perfect. But it's been very warm here this winter.
Pop fly left center. Francisco and Brantley there. It falls in for a base hit. Stopping at second is Spears. Francisco, I think, lost that ball in the sun. The center fielder ranging over, dove at the last moment, but he didn't get a real good break on the ball. It is a base hit for Gathright. 2 on, 1 away, and Aaron Miles will leave the game, as will Joey Gathright. Gathright leaving for a pinch runner. And the new batter for the Cubs, well, actually, this is Miles still. He's going to turn around and bat right-handed. That's what threw me off. He's a switch hitter. Miles is 0 for 3. Did drive in a run with a second-inning fielder's choice bouncer. First pitch from Lewis is low, ball 1. Scott Lewis working in his second inning. Jim Adducci on deck. Now the 1-0. Swing and a miss on a good changeup. A couple of singles here in the inning for the Cubs. Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. The 1-1 from Lewis. Miles takes low and in near the left knee, ball 2.
Miles a good compact hitter and hit .317 for St. Louis Cardinals last year. He could play short, second, switch hitter.
Now the 2-1. Loop foul off to the right. Yeah, he did a lot of good things for Tony La Russa's ball club. The runner at second is Nate Spears. Still have not identified the man at first. Now the 2-2. Swinging a foul back by Miles.
Well, I was telling you, Bob Dickerson, who's managing, and Ryan Sandberg is the bench coach, and he told me that they were going to play about 5 and then bring in the minor league ball players. So
now Miles takes low in the count, 3-2.
We do know that man at first has got a blue uniform on, a blue top and a blue hat, so we know he's with us.
Jerry Cub, we understand, is the runner at first. No, I just saw him turn around. That's Tony Campana. Tony Campana. Runners go, 3-2 pitch, hit in the air deep left, but it is playable for Brantley. And he'll make the catch. The runners retreat to first and second, 2 down.
Just didn't get that on the good part of the bat. Kind of muscled that ball out there.
2 outs, 2 on. Cubs down by a run here in the 6th. And Jim Adducci batting for the first time today. Left-hander against left-hander. Cubs have not led since the top of the first inning. See if Adducci can get a hold of one here. The pitch on the way. Down low for a ball. It's 1-0.
Boy, we got a lot of left-handed hitters in the minor leagues.
Adducci hit .290 at Dayton a year ago, or at Daytona rather, a year ago. Mm-hmm. 3 home runs, 48 runs batted in at Class A Daytona.
What position?
Here's the pitch outside for a ball, outfield. Jim Adducci waiting for Lewis. Cubs trail by a run, out hitting the Indians 8-6 here in the 6th inning. And Adducci takes a strike in the count, 2-1.
Well, I tell you one thing, he's got that right shoulder in there. He doesn't budge a bit.
Looks like he's faced a few lefties.
Yeah, he really. There are guys that are very comfortable.
The 2-1. Swinging a ground ball into center field, a base hit. Rounding third, Spears heading home. That's the tying run. It's 4-4. Jim Adducci delivers a sharp grounder right up the middle. And, Ronnie, you were just saying how he hung in there against the left-hander.
Yeah, really. You can just see very comfortable at the plate as a left-hander. There are a lot of left-handed hitters that face the left-handers, and it's to them it's just like facing a right-hander. Certain guys.
Stopping at second on the base hit was Campana. Game tied 4-4. Let's see if the Cubs can take the lead. Ty Wright batting, taking down low for a ball. And boy, as a young player, Ducey, delighted, no doubt, getting the hit against the lefty. You don't want that label. That's a tough label to shake for a young player. Talking about a left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. A big chopper to third. Short hop very nicely by Hodges.
Oh, boy, what a nice play.
And he throws out Wright to end the inning. Get back to this thought in a moment, Ron. The Cubs tie the game on the RBI single by Jim Ducey and leave 2. And at the end of 5.5, Cubs 4, Indians 4. The new Cub pitcher, a young left-hander by the name of Matt Smith. Matt Smith will face the lower third of the Indians lineup here in the bottom of inning number 6. Jim Ducey's RBI single for the Cubs a few moments ago has tied this game once again. Cubs 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Cleveland 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Campana stays in the game to play second base. First pitch by Smith is in there for a strike. Matt Smith. Cubs have a new shortstop in the game also. And we'll get you caught up momentarily. Lefty to lefty. Fastball is up and in for a ball. 7th inning stretch coming up in a little while. The 7th inning stretch brought to you by Citgo. Is the next offering. And the ball popped in the air off the bat of Stephen Head. Foul left side, may be playable for Scales. It is. He's got it for out number 1. Bobby Scales ran over in front of the railing on the third base side to pluck that one out of midair. 1 down. And here is Wes Hodges. But Ronnie, getting back to a left-handed batter getting a hit against a left-handed pitcher, frankly, you don't get a lot of opportunities many times as a young player to get that chance to get those hits. So when you do, you're showing management that if you have to, you can hit both righties and lefties.
Absolutely. And, you know, when you see a minor league player like himself and then you see he hit 290, you know he's got to be hitting left-handers as well as right-handers.
Here's the stretch for the 0-1. Hodges checks. Did he go? Yes, he did. That's a swing. First base umpire Mike Everett made that call. And sometimes, Ron, when you get that label as a ball player, even if you work in practice on hitting against lefties, sometimes management just will not give you that many more chances to show what you can do. Here's a pitch down low for a ball. You got that tag, that label. You can't hit lefties. I'm sorry. You're not playing today.
There you go. That tag, you just don't want. And a utility ball player could probably play every day, but they put a tag on him. And all of a sudden he realizes, hey, I can't. So I'll fill in here. And then there are players that just appreciate being in the big leagues and saying, hey, whatever I can do to stay up here is what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm. Here's a fastball upstairs, ball 2. Cubs 4, Indians 4, bottom of the 6th, 1 away, nobody on. Outfield straightaway. And the pitch on the way. Line to right, down the line. That ball is going to be in there, skipping into the corner, extra base knock. Hodges around first, going to second and holding with a standing 2-bagger. Snyder got it back in.
You see a lot of, with left-handers, Pat, right-handed, hitting the ball to right field a lot because of the fact that a lot of left-handers don't like to pitch inside, and when they do come inside, they waste it. They try to get you outside.
1 out and a man at second, run. Game tied at 4, bottom of the 6th. Chris Jimenez, the batter for the Indians. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. I was told earlier that Campana was playing shortstop. I look out in center field, and Tony Campana is out in center. You like to see that kind of versatility. Here's the 0-1. Fastball is high, and the count even. That's good range right there, Ron.
Yeah, that is. It's definitely. You see a lot of shortstops that will move to center field.
1 ball, 1 strike. Game tied. Bottom of inning number 6.
Robin Yount.
He absolutely did.
Yep. Jimmy Pearsall.
Did he go from short to center?
Short to center.
Mickey Stanley of the Tigers did it, didn't he?
Yes.
Or he might have gone the other way around.
And how about, who am I thinking, Atlanta Braves? Catcher to center?
Murphy. Dale Murphy?
Dale Murphy. How about that?
He was a good ball player.
Oh,
I like that.
Big, good arm, could run.
Pitch to Jimenez is taken high for a ball.
I think he had 400 home runs.
Yeah, he was a slugger. He came into our booth right after I joined you in Atlanta one night, and he could not have been nicer to us.
Yeah.
Just a real class guy. Now the 3-1. From Smith to Jimenez. Very high, ball 4. This left-hander Smith has a good arm, but he was wild, and he walked the number 9 hitter. Now Larry Rothschild will trot out to the mound. Again, no broadcast tomorrow. The Cubs will continue playing each day until next Wednesday. They finally get their first day off of the spring. The Cubs will play the White Sox tonight at Cashman Field in Las Vegas, and again tomorrow. Both of those games, by the way, on Cubs television.
WGN, I think.
WGN TV in both, it says here, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
And then you and I will have the radio broadcast on Friday when the Cubs take on the Dodgers over at Hohokam Park in Mesa. And that game starts at 2 o'clock Central Time.
And this will be the second time we opened up against the Dodgers. Our first broadcast.
Here's the pitch on the way, and It's taken down low for ball one.
It was the Dodgers, wasn't it?
It sure was.
Thank you. Sometimes when you don't say, yeah, you're right.
I was trying to think of some details from that opener. Sometimes spring games is the 1-0. And the pitch in there for a strike. You're concentrating so much on just trying to keep up with all the changes that you don't really remember all of the details or many of the details of the games. Sometimes you don't remember a darn thing, let's be honest. One ball and one strike.
Now you're in my category. Those senior moments, and they've been coming a lot.
Here is a pitch low and inside for a ball. It's 2-1. Now, spring training is relaxed.
Right.
You should stay loose and just enjoy the weather and being at the ballpark and watching a ball game. Now the 2-1. Swung on and clubbed deep to left and foul and back out of play. The in batter is, I think this is either Ryan Garco. Actually, this is 25, 26, and I do not have a 26 on my information sheet. Yes, I do. This is Andy Cannizzaro.
Cannizzaro.
Andy Cannizzaro. Now the stretch by Smith and the pitch. Fly ball to deep left field. Back goes Du Bois back near the wall, and that ball is caught at the wall for out number 2.
Wow, I thought it was gone.
Du Bois went right back to that screen left field fence, reached up. His glove was right near the top of the wall when he hauled it in.
Well, Du Bois is about 6'3", and just the way he was going back and the way the ball was hit, I thought, well, it's going to land over that fence, but he made a nice catch. Couldn't tell if he reached over the fence, did he?
It was close.
It was close. It was right.
2 outs, 2 on. Cabrera the batter. Game tied at 4, bottom of the 6th. Here's a pitch high and outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Cabrera leaves the game. This is Wilson Valdez. And the lefty checking the lead of the runners comes back. The pitch fouled at the plate. 1-1. Goodyear Ballpark. First time we've ever done a game here. This park just opened about a week ago. The grass is cut in an unusual manner. Here's the 1-1. And Valdez takes inside for a ball.
Yeah, it really is. I've never seen this type of cut or shadows on the grass.
They've got sections in dark green and sections in light green, and they are triangular in shape.
Yeah, and
huge.
Right.
The 2-1 pitch on the way. Low and inside to Valdez.
And they all run from left field, right field, center field, right to home plate. They all meet at home plate.
And the small part of the triangle is at the plate and it fans out. The wide part of the triangle is out by the outfield barriers. Here's a